Meeting is now streaming live. Okay, cool. Oh, let me remember to record it here. Well,
Yeah.
hello. There's always a giggle. Does that happen to everybody? As soon as we're like, 1, 2, 3, we're live. We're like,
Hey,
like,
hello, everybody.
Hello, world. Now, is that your dog or my dogs? My neighbor's dogs.
Actually, I think it's mine. Sorry, I got to let her out quick.
Well, while she is letting the dogs out, I am just going to say, hi, everyone. Who let the dogs out? Haha. Who let the dogs out? I'm kidding. Today, this is so fun. I always giggle when I go live because if you told me that a year ago I could be live on a show, I'd be like, no way. Oh, she's back. She's back. She's back.
Yes.
Who let the dogs out? This is Patty Jo, and she let the dogs out.
Yes. And we're in Maine, and outside there's all kinds of critters, and the dogs see one, they want to go after them.
That is awesome. Yeah, I always thought we'd have dogs, but today we have 2 kids. It was like never my plan to have kids. But now we have dogs. So, hello, Rockstar World out there.
Hello.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm Daniella Platt like platinum, only the very best. So this is Looking Good with Daniella. And if you told me a year ago that I would be live with some of the most incredible, inspirational people in the world, I would look at you and say, what is live? And how would I ever know anybody from Maine? I live in Los Angeles. It's just not possible. But I think that I'm going to sum up the last 9 months with this one statement. It has been the best, worst year ever of all times. So I'm just going to dive in. What I do, a lot of you guys out there know, is that I specifically specialize in being a brand strategist. I take your art and your heart into the world from concept all the way to reality. And I specifically focus on branded apparel. And we'll get into what my scarf signifies later, but it's our latest branded apparel release. But my favorite thing is to meet awesome people. So I'm here today with Patricia Jo Grover, the goal achievement strategist in Maine.
Yes.
I wish I remembered how exactly we met. We were just talking about that, but it's been a phenomenon with so many people jumping online. We're all craving, what I realized is we're a bunch of seekers and we're all craving greatness. And since we can't go out in the world, we all found each other in different Zoom chats and we all kind of came together. So Patty, would you like to introduce yourself?
No,
your bio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody, this is the awesome Patty Jo from Maine. She is the goal achievement strategist. She uses her complete platform and offers one-on-one services associated with goal achievement. She offers unparalleled peer-to-peer mentoring and accountability membership programs. Patty has over 30 years of business management and ownership experience, from creating them to selling them and making a profit from their sale. Several of the management positions were in Fortune 500 companies. With her years of business experience, she has recruited and trained, coached, consulted, and mentored over 2,500 entrepreneurs, corporate employees, and staff of her own. With her speaking, one-on-one services, courses, workshops, women retreats, Patty incites action through encouragement, education, and empowerment, while she teaches how to articulate, activate, and achieve with curiosity, courage, and consistency.
Yes, that's all in it, in a nutshell. It really is, and what I say now, and when I say I incite action when I speak, is I'm saying it's time to put on the big girl panties and get to work. It really is. Look, let's talk about this. You were saying about the year 2020. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, Daniella, let's leave it in the rearview mirror. Let's leave 2020 in the rearview mirror and focus on our future. Every single one of us. We need to really dig deep. What is it that we want? What do we want to have? What do we want to be? What do we want to do? Let's take a deep look at that and make those determinations, put together those smarter plans so that you can activate those plans so that you'll be able to achieve. And that's, you know, that's what I do with my clients.
Where are people these days in terms of their mindset? How are they processing? We're now, it's the holiday season. So for me, I look back and I'm thinking to myself, the best worst year. I met all these incredible people and I haven't left my chair. So now we're in this processing zone, but now we're thinking ahead. Where's the mindset of your clients and how are you advising them to start putting the last 9 months into some type of focus and reframe the conversation to move forward and plan for 2021?
You know, the thing is, Daniela, you're so right in the fact that it's been a jumble for so many people, and we need to wrap our heads around, you know, it's not what's going on outside, you know, because we don't have any control over what's going on with the COVID situation. All we can do is what we can do individually. We can wear our masks. We can protect ourselves and our families, you know, with that. So all we can do, no matter what, is what we can do and take the steps personally ourselves to do. So whatever's happening, you know, we're still not through all the election turmoil and all that stuff. It's on the news. It's this, it's that, you know, but we can't control that. We can make the choices and decisions. And what I teach people is your choices and decisions are what design your destiny. So own it, own it. We all have baggage. We all have baggage. Name it and claim it. Let's get it down. You know, let's get everything down, get it down on paper. You know, I teach people and with the steps of having, and everybody has heard of these. You've heard of SWOT analysis, and I work with clients with those because I help people create their toolbox, and from that they learn, they dig out what their strengths are and what their opportunities are out of a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths and what are your opportunities? Those things go into your toolbox so that you can use that to power you, to move you forward. We all have them. People don't realize it, but you have your strengths and you have opportunities. But then we also, every single one of us, have weaknesses, and we have threats that may keep us and stand in the way of us being able to achieve our dreams and goals. And what I call those, Daniela, is those things, I call them items that put you in the graveyard, because the graveyard is where dreams go to die.
Oh,
You know, and
how do you
right, that
fight the
we don't,
graveyard?
right, how you fight that graveyard. Okay, so those things that we consider, we're making all these notes, and okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are my opportunities, and these are my threats. You take all those, and those things that are your weaknesses, you just build your skill in those. Or if it's a weakness that you can delegate somebody to pick up for you, you take that off of that weakness, and that now becomes, now that you've worked through that, you know that if you delegate that now becomes what? That comes an opportunity or a strength, right? So it's that taking that weight of all that negative in the weaknesses and threats and negating them and getting them to become a tool for you.
Can you, like, very simply, like, what is one action step to do that today? One action step to, like, that somebody, you're afraid of something, you want to achieve that goal, but what's like one or two, maybe two action steps that somebody can just realize that I'm going to make this my goal and I'm going to do it in December and it's going to set me straight for 21? What's one action step that somebody can do today?
Text the word goal, GOAL, to 866-926-4020.
Okay, you'll have to
Okay.
put that in the
Yep.
chat.
Yep. Okay. So again, I'll say text the word goal, GOAL, to
Okay.
866-926-4020. And why I'm saying that is because there I have the 7 steps to goal achievement. Now, they're gifts there I have for people, because the second edition of my book is coming out soon. And so I have a $5 off coupon in there for anybody if they want to place the order for that. But I'm saying you don't even need to place that order yet. Okay. You don't even have to do that. What I'm saying is you said for what I suggest somebody do,
Yeah.
you go in there, and I have, because I put people to action. You got to put the steps, you got to take those steps. And the step is to do, I have 3 different assignments in there. You do these assignments and they come back to me, and I will give an hour consultation. And I go through the information that somebody shares with me, and then I do an hour with them, and I sit down and we put together the framework of their plan so that they are ready to put action to it for the first of the year. So
what is one of the 7? Can you share one of the 7?
One of the
I'm
7.
so curious. Yeah. What would
Yeah.
be one of the 7?
Is to do your SWOT analysis on yourself.
I've never done one.
Darling. Okay.
Text goal.
Yes. Do it, honey. Seriously, because
Okay.
right. And you know me from talking with me and the communication that we've had. You've been a guest on my show. You know, I really get down and help people to dig deep and know that they are worthy and they are capable, and to make those connections for the individuals, because we don't give ourselves enough credit for the strengths that we have as individuals, and women have a harder time doing that, you know, and you know that for a fact.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
so hard.
give yourself enough credit. So Daniella, you have so many more strengths than you even can, think of. But if you're taking and you're doing this like a test for yourself, just like you were doing a test,
Right.
sit down and think about these things and put them down. Once they're down on paper, then you can say, I didn't realize that. And this is actually an opportunity for me that I hadn't even contemplated, that will give me power and fuel to move forward.
Patty, what I'm reminded of right now, when you and I met, it was early on in this pandemic. I was on your show, so it was probably after my book had come out, Looking Good came out, and I was starting to go on shows. It's probably around June. You had this power of just saying, hi. I don't know exactly what you asked, but you specifically said to me, my show is not about your book, and it's not about your successes in media or fashion. My show is about what fear that you had to conquer to achieve. And I don't know what happened, but I was like the Nile. I just poured and poured and poured. And I found myself, and I'm going to pull that up. And I poured. I had so much struggle and strife that was in me. 5 years ago, I became a mom. 2.5 years ago, my second baby was born. And I said, I'm going to do things differently. I didn't want my corporate job. I wanted to be on my own. I wanted to achieve greatness, but I had a fight with former colleagues. I had fears that couldn't take me forward. And I told you all of this. And I'm thinking of that conversation and where I am today, meeting you, coaching with Angel, coaching with Forbes, coaching with, I'm missing somebody, coaching with Albert. That story doesn't exist anymore. I thought that was going to be the narrative of my book, but I'm talking to you now. And if I pulled up that story, you brought that out in me, and I've conquered it now 6 months later.
Right. And that's the thing. And so many people have told me this, Daniella. So I take that as a compliment, that most people, when they reach out, they know that they have that comfort level with me. And that's just how it makes it that much easier for me to serve. And that's what it's all about. To me, it is to let people know that they are worthy, that they are capable, and they're not in this alone. And that's what I share with my show. Like you were mentioning, I ask guests to share struggles that they may have had in their personal or professional lives and how they made it through. My show is all about encouraging, empowering, and educating people that, they can get from point A to point B.
I have to pull up that conversation. You were talking before about your 3 rings.
Yes.
about your
Yeah.
triangle. Would you like to?
Sure.
It sat nicely with me, so I'd love
Yeah.
to share it.
Yeah, it is. And I have to say it may be because of the point of my life I'm at with
Mm-hmm.
being more mature at this point. But I choose Daniela to live my life, and I say PJG style, Patricia Jo Grover. Okay, purposefully, joyfully, and gratefully. And just think of 3 circles. And, so think of each of them as a circle. And where those 3 circles meet up in the middle, to me, that is bliss. I am in that comfort zone of my own. I don't have any ands, ifs, or buts of who I am and what I'm doing. And I know my purpose and I know my why. And so that is just the most comfortable place to be. And I want everybody to be able to have that same feeling, that same just that's that breath of the sigh of, oh, I'm comfortable with who I am, where I'm at in life. And it's not that I don't have dreams and goals of my own, but I know I'm in my lane. I'm on my own highway. You know what I mean? That is where
Right.
I'm at. So I feel that comfortable with that. So and I also want to add that, I want to be able to, on my deathbed, I want to be able to say, I've had as few could have, should have, or would have moments in my life as possible. I want to be able to tell my right,
Uh-huh.
you know,
This,
boom, right,
boom.
right,
This is it.
right.
You are here. You are in the zone. You are making impact. You got goals. Let's achieve it. Let's make it happen. There's no could, should, would. This is it.
That's right. That's right, darling. And that's the way it is. I think everyone should live their life to its fullest potential. And and in my book, Danielle, and I talk about it, and I think you and I
Mm-hmm.
talked about it once before too.
Yeah. Can you hold
It's
up a copy of it?
yeah,
Do you have?
yeah,
You
yeah,
must have it
yeah,
within arm's
yeah,
reach.
yep, yep. Living outside the
Living
box.
outside the
Yep,
box. This is the
yep,
you're coming out with a new one. Okay.
yep. So, but what I say is that our lives are like a jigsaw puzzle. And just
Mm-hmm.
think about this. Here's a jigsaw puzzle. There's a box, right? There's a box, but there's no picture on this box. We don't know what the picture on the box is going to look like. And when we're born, that puzzle is just dumped out on the table in front of us. I won't go into all the philosophy, but just saying, if you look back at your life, hasn't it already been, if you were starting to put your pieces together and on that puzzle, isn't it actually, instead of one picture, it's actually a collage of so many things?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's so many pieces that I feel like it's, I've only got half of it, and there's like there's pieces missing. So I don't know if that's memory
It's
block or the journey ahead.
right. Right. It's probably the journey ahead, so really think about it. Every single one of us are on a journey. We're on our own journeys, and we're at different points of our journeys. But it's all like a puzzle. Those pieces are coming together and fitting together. And some of them, we don't know at this point. We don't know. We didn't know what was going to happen in 2020. No one could be prepared for that. So I teach people, my clients, to create smarter plans. And I can't say everybody, but most people are familiar with what a smart plan is. I just add the E and the R on the end because I say they have to be editable and revisable, because life happens to every single one of
Right.
us, whether we are ready for it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all part of what I teach.
I love that story. And as you're talking about the jigsaw puzzle, I'm thinking, I'm missing a piece in the middle. And I think it's because we start to look back at our life a little bit differently over time. Like a year ago, we were talking about the story of where I was emotionally, and that it was a trauma that I was going through and I hadn't let go. And that probably would have been my puzzle piece. And I'm missing that piece from my puzzle. And I'm still trying to process all that happened, but maybe you're that missing link right now, you and Angel, like all these things that have happened.
Right.
That's the new piece that fits in as, you know, it's an evolution of how we grow and new
Exactly.
things fit in. So with the goal achievement, what are some of your goals for 2021? What are we going to see coming from you? I hear you
Oh,
have some
oh,
new platforms. What's coming out for
yeah.
2021?
Well, some exciting stuff right now. I'm working with some women who you know, and we won't say names right yet because we're going to have some exciting news hopefully to share very soon.
Okay, bring them on. Bring them on
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. But we are working on a program to benefit and as a 501c3 to
Okay.
benefit women who have been through domestic violence situations, have
Mm-hmm.
survived those, and come into our program, and they have at that point have had the seen the psychiatrist, psychologist, and done the healing that they need to do. And then and this program will help them with job, getting into jobs, with building relationships back between them and their children, because, and creating those, teaching them how to be effective and healthy parents, because they've been through such trauma. It's not just the wife or woman that goes through that, it's the children that go through that too, and their needs. Then one of the women will be working with them to help get their financial standing, their financial legs back under them, because many women leave domestic violence situations with everything and just leave with the clothes on their back and their children. And then I would be working with these women when they're ready to start the next chapter and determine where they are, because we have to dig and find out what their strengths are, what their weaknesses, what their threats, what their opportunities, really dig deep for them, and so they know where they are, so we can get them to where they want to be, because you can't get from point A to point B until you know what the point A and point B are. And many of these women will have difficulty to dream and allow themselves to dream, and I work with them on that. So excited about, this, because the people, the women that we will be able to make a positive difference for is phenomenal.
Oh my God, get you a superhero
Yeah.
cape.
So that's just one thing. So I'm excited because I am working right now on creating retreat, women's retreat, and it's going to be called, remember what I said, the word bliss. I'm going to create
Okay.
bliss retreats, for women to be able to go on a quest for their bliss. So so I'll be able to drop a little more, and you'll see Facebook posts and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But how many women right now really need to have that, putting themselves and learning to put themselves first, to have that, and become, and more in the mindset of, like I said, how I feel, where I am, and
Right.
with my life, I want to be able to offer that to other women. So that's another thing that's coming up, along with different courses and workshops that I'm starting to do, because or have tweaked what I had already been doing, because with the turn of the year, many people, and you're familiar, you know what vision boards are, making vision boards.
I have mine right there. And on my vision board is something that when you and I met, I didn't know was possible. But on my vision board is a big picture of me holding a microphone on TV, and behind it are all the logos, NBC, CBS, Roku, you name it. On that is on my vision board. So I've got one right there, and I am wearing a Wonder Woman outfit.
There you go. Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. Just like
So,
the Wonder Woman. Yep. Yeah.
yeah, and spirit animals. I've got a wolf on there. That's my spirit animal. I thought I was the butterfly, but I was told, no, you're a wolf.
Oh, that's right. That's
Intuitive
right.
and assertive. So yeah, so I'm very familiar with vision boards, and it's not
Right.
something that I had done in a long time. And I always write down notes of I want this, but that's right there. It lives there. It is bright blue. It is under bright lights, and it has to happen.
Right.
So
And
go back to your
awesome.
vision boards.
So I actually take that, and I help people to have sensory vision. And what I teach with that is it's like taking your vision board and making it 5D, not 3D,
Okay.
more 5D. I teach people to be able to close their eyes. It's so embedded in them that they have already achieved this. When they close their eyes, they can feel it, not just physically, Daniela, they can feel it emotionally. They can smell what the smell is in the room or wherever they are. They can hear the noises. They can taste the flavors of if they're on a beach, their tropical drink. They can feel it, smell it, taste it, hear it, touch it, all that. They close their eyes and it is there. If you take, and I help people find their purpose and their why. If you take your purpose and your why and you add that sensory vision and the vision board, so you have everything in front of you, you're unstoppable. And that's what I do.
Make people unstoppable. Find your purpose, find your why, make people unstoppable, get your goals, take your vision board, 5D, 3D, not even 3D, but 5D, smell it, feel it, sensory
vision, right? And okay, and you got it. And again, so right, do text to goal, and do the work, because you got to find out where you are so that we can get you to where you want to be. And it's so your point A to your point B, and it's not a straight line. Daniela, you've already been you started your journey. You're not going, you're where you are. Exactly. And people have to realize that. What I share a lot to Daniela is, because we'll figure, I'll share something with you in just a second, but right now, you know who Dr. Wayne Dyer is, don't you?
The name is super familiar.
Okay, so
is
you'll have
book
to,
or
yeah,
methodology?
yeah,
okay.
oh yeah, okay. So you'll have to Google him. But one of the things he said is it's never crowded along the extra mile. So
that's true. I get that.
So what do you
always room at the top?
Okay, all right. So that up at the top, but some people, when you're up here, the high achievers, there's only 8% of the people in the world who are the high achievers. So I did a lot of research to what is it that those high achievers are doing so that they get there, that the 92% of the other people aren't doing. I didn't want to focus on what people weren't doing. I wanted to really look at what they are doing. And what those 92, the 8% of the people are doing is they are putting in the work, and they have systems that they follow with planning, calendaring, and systems and routines and habits and positive habits that they have in their lives. And I have broken all of that down and put that into what I do with clients and what I teach them. And, it really does make a difference. When you properly calendar and plan, it seems like a lot of work and effort, but in the long run, it saves you. It actually gives you more time. You're able to get more accomplished and have more time for yourself. So when I say I teach people to put themselves first, it starts with your calendar and planning. Put in that time, block that time out. This is my time for whatever it is you want to do. If you want to take a bubble bath, if it's because you want to watch a special girly flick, whatever it is, put those times in. Your children's birthdays, different things, because you don't want to miss, our life right now, our day, every day that we have in the now. Our now is a present. It's in the present. Treat it like it's a present.
I like that. I like that. I like schedule your success, and I like that. The now is the present. I like that.
Yeah, it is the present. Live in the present. Enjoy and live your life joyfully. If you don't have those big pieces, those big chunks for your family and what your personal needs are to keep your glass fill, keep your glass full. If you don't do that, you aren't going to be able to live a joyful life. And that's what I'm saying. Remember when I said I choose to live my life purposefully, joyfully, and gratefully?
Yeah.
There you go. Doesn't that
PJG.
doesn't that all tie together? If you know your purpose and you put everything in your calendar so that you can have the joy that you want in your life, then you're more joyful, you're happier. It just makes it so that it's easier to give because you have so much, because you feel full yourself. So that with the calendar and planning, and the things that we were talking about before, with, you need to prioritize, and what I teach people is your A, B, C, D, and E. Absolutely have to do, got to get done.
Oh yeah.
And it's got to happen. But then so that's your A, B, C, and D. Okay. Once you get to your D is delegate. If it's something that you don't have the time, energy, or effort to do yourself, you
Or you
delegate.
hate it.
Or you hate it. Or you hate it.
Hate anything with technology. Do it.
There you go. So you delegate that, or if it's something that, once it's here, then you eliminate. So you A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
So with those, but then so that's your prioritize, but then you synchronize. In what order do each thing have to happen? The different pieces of those A, B, C's, and D's and E's, or, well, you don't need to worry about your E's, but in what order do all these steps need to happen? And then it's just like you reverse engineer it. You put all those pieces in your calendar, whether it be, if you're taking your year and you're looking at that, okay, if you want this to happen, what needs to happen, the pieces to break down, so that you can have this tremendous goal, which I hope everybody does have for 2021. Those dreams and goals, you can accomplish them, you can achieve them. But look at what you want to get done, break it down into those A, B, C, D of the big chunks, then break those chunks down smaller. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time. But how do you put the elephant in the refrigerator?
You got to cut it down into chunks small enough so that it can go in the refrigerator or freezer. It can happen. You just got to,
or you buy a really big fridge.
you got to break it down. Just like your fears, you got to break them down.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that what happens is, if we sit back and we just look at the grand and glorious dream that we have, and I hope and I know your dreams are grand and glorious. You look at them, yeah, they have to be. Don't, all right, there you go.
I want everything. I want it all.
So you just, when you're looking at that, don't let that overwhelm you, and that's what people do. They let it overwhelm them, and they get scared, and then they back off. Oh, so just look at it. Okay. And see the pieces. Okay. Well, this has to happen. This has to happen. Again, reverse engineering everything to all the steps. So then take your yearly, goes back down to your quarterly planning, goes down to your monthly planning, goes down to your weekly planning, and that weekly planning goes into your daily planning. Now, this is all again, this is all again of what I teach my clients how to do. And looking at that, even your day. Okay. So you take that week and then you break that week into, okay, let's take these chunks. Again, this elephant, we're breaking it down into chunks, so that we can digest it. We can absorb it. Okay. And really looking at that. But I had a guest on my show that actually, she's going to be airing, I believe. She's coming up pretty soon. She gave me something, and I am going to use this tip. It's a fantastic tip. Every day, part of what I do, Daniella, every day is, before I even get out of bed, I think of things that I'm grateful for. I think of things I'm grateful for before my feet even hit the floor. But then, get the day started. But one of the first things I do when I come into my office and I sit down and I look at my calendar and look at what I have on my calendar, on my agenda for that day. And okay, just take a look. Is everything in place for this to happen? But then I look at who I am going to be talking with that day. Who I'm who I know that I'm going to be having communication with. And what I learned from this woman is actually take into consideration when you see, like I did today. I said, oh, I'm going to be seeing Daniella today.
Oh yeah, what was going on when you thought
okay,
that?
all right. So, and what she said, and again, I am going to take this in as what I do, and I'm going to recommend everybody do it. Is
Okay,
remember your last communication with that person. How did that communication with that person make you feel? If you scored that between a 1 and a 10, and the 10 being the highest, what was our last, what was our last, how did that make you feel? Where from a 1 to a 10, how did that make you feel? Then
how did it make you feel? What was your number?
you were a number 9. The last
I got a 9.
communication. Yeah.
I got a 9.
So yeah.
Cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So do that. So when you do that, but then when you sit down and so you had a 9. So I knew my next communication with you, I was going to have my vibration and how I felt be at that same level so that I could give back to you what you gave to me the last conversation we had.
So much growth since then.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
but,
so much growth.
But what I'm saying is how that, not just how they made you, stimulated you academically or anything like that, just that overall feeling. What feeling did that person give you or leave you with that relationship you had with them? Because
energy is so important.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We need to work in a place that makes us feel good. We need to be around people that make us feel good. Sometimes maybe you're looking for a home and there could be the most beautiful house, but it's on a street the street just has bad energy.
Right.
You have to find what makes you feel like you're in that high vibration.
Exactly.
What do you need? What's your toolkit? So I'm so glad your story. It's like right on time. This is what we need right now. End of November, processing where we've been. Where are we going? How do you stay at that high frequency?
And that day, so just take it day by day. Just that day, who you're going to be, that's on your calendar, on your schedule. Who are you going to be dealing with? What relation was that? So if you're going to be dealing with or seeing somebody that you had a lower number with the last time you communicated with them, it helps you to think about, how am I going to present or be with this person on a better level to hopefully bring their level up also. You see what I mean? Because if we're right, if exactly. If that situation wasn't good between you and them the last time, if you left feeling that way, who knows? And again, and it could have been, everybody has bad days. It could have been the whatever. We don't know what happened before they communicated with you, but if you look at that every single day before every single conversation or whatever that you have in your planner, we're not talking, you go to the store or whatever. Of course, it makes a difference how you relate with people when you're in there, but it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference if you start looking at that.
So I'm super proud of you. You just keep on having breakthroughs with people and you keep pushing yourself forward and you work on yourself and you keep taking on these. You have like a code and you live by this code. There are things you do the first thing in the morning, the second thing in the morning. There's the PJG mindset that you have. You're just so on it. And obviously, of course, you're the goal achievement strategist. So congratulations. I really thank you. I've had so many breakthroughs with you that I didn't even really think about until I'm face to face with you again. They kind of lived in the back of my mind. And now I see so much growth. So everybody, like, it's unbelievable. All you have to do is look at Patty's eyes and you're like, it all just comes out and you have a magical way of unboxing people's needs and taking them to a higher level, higher vibration. Can you say the number again? Where is it that, what number do people need to text goal to again?
866-926 4020.
4020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, imagine a ticker on the bottom with the number.
there. Well, there's over $600 worth of value of stuff there for everyone. Not everybody's going to be ready for it all at one time, but it's there. It's there for them to use whenever they want to use the different things that are in there for them. But I'm
That's
saying,
awesome.
they can
Holiday gifts.
yeah, they can pre-order the book. They can pre-order the book, and that's fine, but they don't have to right now. I am saying, if you want to getting started
Mm-hmm.
for 2021, to get the right place, get your foundation built, because if you have dreams and goals that are huge, right, you're going to need that strong foundation. You're going to need that strong foundation to keep that building growing sturdy, strong, and keep it standing. And that's what it's all about.
That's the mindset right now. That is right on time. That is it. Like, okay, whoa, whatever happened the last 9 months, I'm not sure. What's my foundation? Because where, at least from my eyes, and a lot of people out there, here we are. Let's build a foundation, because we've all kind of been flying in this pivot. We've all just been going. Hey, this is the new world. We're used to it now. Let's like think it through now for a plan to go forward.
Right. And so many people though, Daniela, just like yourself, you pivoted and changed and moved things around. But so many people, the businesses that they had, they weren't able to keep open because of things closing and what's going on with COVID. So just shifting your mindset and the way that you're thinking about things, focus on the future. Don't let whatever happened, whether it be loss, don't let it hold you back. Don't focus on your future. Give it a wave. Learn from it. I'm not saying I don't totally forget. What I'm saying is, if something happened, if there's anything you can learn from it, dig it out. Dig what you can learn from it out and use that to fuel you. And every single one of us have had difficulties in life or business. You look at our the outgoing president, say, for example. I mean, how many bankruptcies or whatever I have no idea even how many, but that didn't let him stop. Didn't let it stop him. And nobody we should take those things and use them as fuel to move us forward.
Wow. Well, I'm just going to chime in. You mentioned before about habits.
Yes.
And I actually had the opportunity, we mentioned before, we were talking about Forbes Riley. So Forbes actually invited me to contribute into her book, which is called One Habit for Entrepreneurial Success. And the book happens to be on Amazon, and look how big it is. It's huge.
I know.
So there's 300 habits in this book, and from 150 co-contributors around the world. And I bring this up because I'm so lucky to have been invited inside this book to contribute a habit. And I think so much happens in life when you just show up and being present for something. You just were talking about the now. And that's actually the habit that I wrote about in this book, just letting myself say yes to the universe. Like, I didn't even know you could write a book, you could have a show, you could be on YouTube, I didn't even know it existed. But I literally said yes, and it radically changed my life. So that is the habit that I shared. And then what I've later learned is that if you hang out with high vibe people, or as somebody once said to me, the best way to be a millionaire is hang out with millionaires. But also you want to hang out with successful people who lift you up. And the best way to do that, the best way for you to be successful and to live in that zone, is to hang out with those people. So, only hang out with happy people that want to rise. That is probably the best habit that I picked up. So I'm so glad you mentioned about habits. And then it's funny also you're talking about elephants, because there's an elephant in my room, actually. It's on my scarf. So it's funny, from one of these phenomenons, like everybody hanging out in all these Zoom chats. I would have never thought I'd be in a Zoom chat with you and Les Brown and Angel and Albert and Forbes and so many celebrities, and Sharon Lecter and Frank Shankowitz. Like, whoever thought that we'd be in the same house as them? But right now we are. And so we were trying to figure out what can we create that's special. And I've been listening to the mindset of happy, successful people. I call it the Millionaire toolkit. What is it that you need to get into your high vibe frequency to serve with excellence, to serve from a heart-centered place? So designer, let's see if I can take it off. Designer Ingrid Goodman and I created this. I have a fresh one here. So, and it was kind of like, I want to create one with you. Like it's about stop playing small. I'll pull out the fresh one here. You can see it. It's in the bag.
Yes.
And it channels your spirit animal, and it's a work of art. Let's see if I can take it out. But we wanted to create something that, you know, we're above the keyboard. And Patty, I really believe that you are more than just like above the neck. But we wanted to create something that gave people effervescent energy to be ferocious and outrageous and live your best life. And I've been learning about elephants and spirit animals. So we created this piece in time for the holidays. So it's just a work of art that I love to share, because it's what you're saying. It's like, it's just how do you get focused? These are big stakes. Life is big, and to your point, you have goals and you have dreams and you have to get focused. What do you need to like bite? There's an elephant in here. He's really cute. There's my elephant. One bite at a time, baby step it, you can get there, but you have to, this like this scarf is that calendar that you were talking about. You have to get into that zone and get focused about it and get clear, know your purpose, know your why. And don't play small, play big, because that's where the greatness is. That's where the good stuff is.
Right. And so when you had done my introduction, Daniela, you mentioned my unparalleled peer-to-peer mentoring and accountability membership program.
I do. You have it right here. Yeah. You're awesome, Patty. Tell us about your peer-to-peer mentorship program.
Just really think about this. You know, think about people that you know from all over the United States. We'll just say United States, for example. I have people in groups where groups of 5 dreams stay alive in my program. So with that,
5 stay alive.
Dreams stay alive.
So good lines.
So people are in this program who they are committed to show up for themselves, and they're committed to show up for the other people on their team. Now, it's similar to almost like a BNI type thing like that. You're networking, but this is peer-to-peer. You're mentoring and accountability. You're holding each other accountable. With my program, you have your own cheerleading squad. People may not have family members or friends that understand you're crazy of entrepreneurship. Okay?
It's crazy. It's like this crazy journey that I've been on, but it's crazy.
Other people may not understand you're crazy, but the people in your group, they get to know you're crazy. They want to support your crazy. They challenge your crazy or questions or whatever to build you and help you get stronger. So this cheerleading squad is with you. You want to be there for them. You're committed to them because you become like family. You are there for them as much as they are there for you, and they meet weekly. And it's not like anything else I've ever seen anybody offer, simply because I know I walk my own talk. Everything that I teach people, I have been through or needed to learn myself how to do. And that's where this program came from.
Is this also through, this is part of your goal, same phone number? It sounds really fascinating to me, because I'm a doer. I'm the one who shows up and does everything I'm supposed to. On my own, I'm like, well, is this the right shade of gray? Who do I talk to? I need feedback. Is the logo too big? I could spend 6 hours just going from like a size 12 font to a 14 and back and forth. But who has time for that? Right. Guys, do you like this? Yes, let's roll. Let's go. Let's do it. Action, 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 accountability. Right. And when you have a teamwork, the joke of it, makes it great.
Exactly.
But you have people that are along with you on the journey to greatness, and then you can really you can, I was calling it the pivot this year, but now I think it's the leap. You have people
Right.
and they're leaping with you. They're your cheer squad. They've been there with you the whole way.
Right.
And they've punched you so into your zone of like giving you that feedback, that criticism, as hard as it could possibly be to take it, you've created something so much better. And that's
Right.
where your zone of genius lies.
Exactly. And I know you've been experiencing some of that with some of the different programs you've been in. You know, we've because I'm familiar with that. But this is a definitely groups of 5, and with that,
Awesome.
it is just so fulfilling and rewarding to know that you're part of helping other people make it through the different things. And because we all know, again, life happens to every single one of us. So you help other people stay on track. That's rewarding because you know, that feeling of giving, you know what, that feeling you have when you give something and you know that somebody is appreciating it and it's furthering them. You know, that feeling you get.
They always say that the giver is more excited sometimes than the recipient. Right. Like, how fun is it to spend days and hours to pick out that right gift for somebody? But then the recipient is like, oh, thank you. You know, so yeah, right. Of course,
but when
giving is great.
When you're making that but when you're making that connection and you're just as much there for them as they are for you, it's priceless. It's priceless. So I just had to put that in there because some people are, you know, you're taking on this big dream or goal, and some people, again, don't have the family members or friends around them to support them that understand, you know, what it is, what it takes, the commitment that it takes. So that's why I created this program. So I just wanted to put that out there because there are many people that may be in need of that service. And that's all on my website.
What's your website?
PatriciaJoGrover.com.
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love talking to you. Everything that you talk about, just, I feel like you're talking right to me. Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody.
You know,
yeah, go on. So I'm just to remind everybody, even though you probably all know, because it is the Daniella Platt platform. I always point, but I never totally know. Oh yes, it's very. So I just want to remind everybody, your tops and your socks, they matter. They make people feel great. They are above the keyboard, down at your toes. They are creating connections, and literally by wearing something above the keyboard, it's like putting your logo on a Roku box blasted into the world. So I specialize in taking your ideas to market as well as branded apparel. This is the latest collection inspired with my friend Inga Goodman. It's called Jungle, and it's so you can be ferocious, live your most ferocious, outrageous life, play big, stop playing small. It's available on my website. This particular website is called Coffee and Jungle, or just DM me below and I'll send it to you. Coffee and Jungle, right? Because life is like a jungle and we have to, I mean, Patty, you have your PJG, like everybody has what's in their toolkit. And for us as artists, designers, we feel like we need coffee, we need wine. There's some novelty on it. There's some coffee, there's wine, there's a hat, hard hat, hammer and nails. You know, everybody needs a hammer and a nail. So yeah, you can grab the scarf. It's at it's at Jungle and Coffee. And if anybody out there wants to be a sales rock star or is thinking like, oh, hey, how can I have a clothing line? Yes, I could help you, but I did put all the secrets in the book. So if you want to jumpstart on your own, it's on Amazon. So the book is called Looking Good, Be a Sales Rock Star and Fashion Startup Playbook. Scarf is at Jungle and Coffee. Patty Jo Grover, text GOAL 866-926-4020. Check out her website, pattyjogrover.com. You are fantastic. You guys, this is the time. Let's look back at what we've accomplished in 2020 and let's plan the foundation for a thriving, awesome 2021. Are you in? I'm in. I'm in. You're in? We are in. Yeah. Yay, Patty.
Yay. Oh, thank you so much, Daniella. And again, I wish you a very prosperous and fantastic 2021. And I just see it coming because I've already seen, you know, the process of the pieces coming together and it's looking fantastic.
You talk right to the heart. You just you just do it. You have that magic. Thank you, Patty. I'm going to shut off the live stream.